Spider-Man, everyone's GOAT, their homie G, their inspiration, their Marvel fucking Jesus, and Marvel Comics' little bitch. I mean, I'm not wrong.
Fuck all this bullshit! What the fuck? The fuck?
So for many decades now, Spider-Man has been a staple in comic books and also an inspiration for many. As for me, he's the most inspiring character who, even though I don't have spider powers, God, I wish I did! He's a character that I and many people can relate to. And that is the reason why Spider-Man is so beloved and important to many, because of his realistic conflicts, his humanity, his flaws, and his perseverance to endure life's bullshit and unfairness just to say, you know what, this sucks and I'm still hurting, but we still ballin'. And through this, it genuinely helped me endure my own shit shows, my pain, my lows, and to keep on going, as life can be great. And as someone who has seen every Spider-Man movie, show, and played every video game, I knew that to truly succeed, my internal fascination and love for this character was to read the comics. Because even though I love the character, the comics were surprisingly something I had a little blind spot to. So literally, I got and read a shit ton of Spider-Man comics. And I read like my life depended on it. And holy shit, there are a lot of Spider-Man comics. Some that are straight up the best thing God and the holy heavens have ever cooked and conceived, to some that I just want to start the rumbling and wipe out humanity for its sins against Spider-Man and my time. So today, I'm going to talk about the top 4 best Spider-Man comic runs / writers of all time, in my opinion. Now, some of these choices are a no-brainer, and some are hot takes. So, without further ado, let's swing right in. Number 4, Robbie Thompson. Look, when I tell you that Spider-Man freshman year is one of the most fun I have ever had reading comics, I'm not joking, my guy. So, Robbie Thompson, with his work in Marvel, is mostly known for writing Spider-Man freshman year, or Spidey, and Spider-Man Deadpool. So freshman year is a miniseries that takes Peter Parker in his first year of high school. Very original, I know. Just going through his early years as Spider-Man, as he tries to hang out with his crush, Gwen Stacy, to fighting his rogue gallery, to teaming up with his superhero idols for the first time. Not only is it super fun, but it's also really funny. Like, Peter is the biggest dork in the series. Like, just look at the shit he says. Question: how do you ask a girl out? Why is this so hard? Do you want to go to the winter formal? It sounds easy. In my head, anyway. Maybe I should try it out loud. Do you want to go to the winter formal? Terrible. Do you want to go to the winter formal? Worse. Break in. What building is this? Whoa, this is some high-end equipment. Do you want to go to winter formal? I'll pass, thanks. Tombstone, how are you, buddy? Out of my way, kid. Who you calling kid? You just asked me to the winter formal. Oops. I'm a chaperone. Looking for a chaperone, buddy. Thanks for letting me down easy. Dr. Victor Von Dim, a.k.a. the Dictator of Liberia, a.k.a. Art Thief. That isn't track. Stand aside, foolish child. Nice try, genius. I'm no child. But in fairness to your antiquated barb, I have been known to be foolish from time to time. You are 15 if you are a day child. Whoa. How do you know that? You're 15? Smooth, Pete. Smooth. What's with the new getup? Did you become a hipster and not tell me? Better. Can I call you Doomster now? Don't worry, I got you.
Is this real life?
Probably. And one of the funniest gags in this miniseries is when he teams up with Black Panther, and Black Panther is trying to teach Spider-Man about how to be a better, more efficient hero. And he also tries to teach him about Wakandan culture. And Spider-Man, being a teenager, gets carried away doing other things, leaving T'Challa saying, Americans. Peter's interactions with people and children in this series is so genuine and adorable. When a kid calls him weird, to another kid giving Spider-Man motivation to keep on going, and to beat Doctor Doom and save the day. His team-ups of both Iron Man and Captain America are amazing, with Spidey literally asking Iron Man advice on how to ask a girl to the winter formal, to admitting he has no idea what he's doing. My favorite team-up has to be Cap, because you can see how inspired Spidey is to be helping Captain America. And when Cap asks Spidey why he does what he does, he says this: I do it for the love, Cap. I do it for America, Cap. No. Come on, Parker. This is Cap. Be serious. A long time ago, someone told me that with great power, there must also come great responsibility. I can help, so I do help. Try to, anyway. So with that response, Captain America fully respects Spidey, to the point wherein the Daily Bugle publishes a shit post about Spidey the very next day, and Captain America literally goes to the Bugle and makes J. Jonah print a retraction. Like, he did not let that shit slide for the homie G. Freshman year, to me, really portrays the core of Spider-Man and his character so accurately and beautifully. Like, when I'm reading this, I'm having a blast. And he's still a kid, too. He has his biases, like being cool with Flash, to helping him get good grades in their class, to become legit homies, to being insecure around Gwen, ditching her, all the while tutoring with her, and to eventually going to the winter formal and sharing his first kiss with her. With Peter fighting the Sinister Six for the first time, getting his ass beat, nearly dying, the same night he went to the winter formal with Gwen. As Peter being the humble, clueless homie G, asking Gwen why she wanted to go with him, with her reminding him how much of an impact and joy he brings to others, that how can she not go with him? Remembering this as he is getting killed. This pure moment, giving him the motivation to keep on going and defeating the Sinister Six all on his own. That is young classic Spider-Man. Freshman year is truly a love letter to the classic and earlier Spider-Man stories, while doing a fresh take on it. Easily a must-read. Number 3. Jeff Loeb. Despite his controversies, I know, I do not associate the art from the artist, but Spider-Man Blue is one of the best Spider-Man stories and probably my personal favorite Spider-Man comic run. It's pretty high on the list. A bit cliche, I know, but I cannot deny how much I love Spider-Man Blue and how important this story means to me. So, if you don't know, I'll give you the swing down. So, Spider-Man Blue is a story, as it is Valentine's Day, and every year on Valentine's Day, Peter puts a rose on the bridge Gwen Stacy died. As Peter's recording audio tapes and retelling the story of how him and Gwen met, fell in love, or more appropriately, how they almost didn't fall in love. From retelling some classic Stan Lee and Steve Ditko comic runs, to adding more context and importance to these character moments, to giving us the best comic interpretation of MJ's iconic Tiger line, to the subtle character motivations and inevitable foreshadowing of what is to come. It honestly doesn't feel like you're reading a comic book. It's like you're reading a poem that just so happens to have Spider-Man in it. And honestly, Spider-Man Blue reminds me and has similarities to Edgar Allan Poe's final poem, Annabel Lee, as both Peter and Edgar both fell in love with a beautiful, amazing woman in their youth, to losing them too early as they both mourn their deaths. It's a story that, if you've ever loved someone and you lost them along the way, whether it was circumstance, heartbreak, death, anything, you can really feel the emotions and sorrow that Peter is experiencing. That was MJ, Gwen. She says hi, and I should get going. I guess when I try and sum up how I feel sometimes around this time of year, I feel blue. Not like I've been dipped in with the tidy bowl man, but like in music and jazz and feeling blue. And I long for a time when a girl I knew with an incredible smile and so much good in her heart made me think life can be great. If you have not read Spider-Man Blue, I strongly recommend reading it, as it is truly an essential read. Number 2. Brian Michael Bendis. Where do I even begin with this stacked chef? Not only did he create many amazing comic characters such as Miles Morales, Jessica Jones, and Ronin, to writing peak Marvel content that is the best Marvel Comics era in my humble opinion, but to creating and writing Ultimate Spider-Man. If you don't know, Ultimate Spider-Man was the retelling of the Spider-Man mythos and character, as it takes place in the Ultimate Universe 1610, as opposed to the main universe 616, reinventing Spider-Man and his world, as this is probably one of the most influential Spider-Man media of all time. Not only did Sam Raimi's Spider-Man and Mark Webb's Amazing Spider-Man showing homage to the comic by adapting Peter dodging Flash's punches, to Oscorp creating the spider that bit Peter, even Flash being a basketball player. So many new and refreshing ideas were being cooked and added into this run. Like having the symbiote be created as a cure for cancer that went completely wrong by Peter's father, to MJ being Peter's best friend to eventual girlfriend, the Green Goblin being an actual huge beast that emits fire, and Gwen Stacy being killed by Carnage instead of the Green Goblin. And just the overall design of both Peter and Spider-Man. The Ultimate series has honestly my favorite comic book look for Spider-Man from both illustrators Mark Bagley and Stuart Immonen. And Ultimate Peter is a really good character. He has temper, he always tries to do the right thing, he freaks out a lot, and he fucks up. Like, Homie G cheats on his girlfriend, Kitty Pryde, with MJ. And there's this really good conversation since Kitty is a mutant and part of the X-Men. She experiences racism and prejudice to the fullest extent, even while attending high school. So Kitty goes off at Peter, and what I love is that Peter is not in the right in this situation. This comic series humbles its protagonist instead of having the protagonist always be right. And he's literally 15. So yeah, he's bound to be a fucking dumbass and make stupid decisions. Also, the dialogue and writing in the series is some top tier shit. Like, I just love how real and true these conversations feel when the characters talk to each other. And this comic series was the first one to kill off Spider-Man legitimately. And it's probably the perfect death for this character, with Peter being able to save Captain America, his family, and friends one last time, as he succumbs to his wounds. And he is welcomed by Uncle Ben in the afterlife. It's very touching, and yeah, around this time Miles was present at seeing Peter die, and he takes on the mantle. But of course, since it's comics, Peter does come back, and it's honestly bullshit if you ask me. But to me, it still does not hinder the Ultimate comic series. And Ultimate Spidey's Rogue Gallery in this series is really fucking good. Like, the major standouts for me is Kingpin and Goblin. Like, they really fuck up Peter's life. So basically, both of them find out the true identity of Spider-Man, and they really mess with Peter. For example, Green Goblin, he attacks his high school, kidnaps and nearly kills MJ, murders his own son, Harry Osborn, and he's the one that ultimately kills Spider-Man. Meanwhile, if the Kingpin, not only does he beat the shit out of Spider-Man, but he literally buys Spider-Man's likeness, meaning that he owns Spider-Man. Like his merchandise, his movie, his role in society, everything. And basically he threatens Peter that if he steps out of line, basically goodbye family. And that's like the ultimate power move for
Savage! I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to get! Whatever I want, I have to get!
which is why he's the top homie G. And the side characters are really, really good in this series. Like, Kitty Pryde, Kenny, and hell, even Aunt May are amazing in this series. I honestly don't want to talk about these characters because me talking about them and their arcs and the story, it doesn't do them justice in my opinion. Well, I'm from a planet many galaxies far, far, far away from here where people and spiders may live in harmony. What? I'm just joking. I'm just like this guy, and I fell backwards into some powers. And I'm trying to do what I can so that people like that don't try to hurt people like you. But why wear a mask? Well, it's no big conspiracy or anything. I just want to do what I can for people. But I have family and friends, and I don't want to, put their lives in danger just because they know me. I want to protect them. So yeah, I wear a mask. It's pretty simple, really. But people might have a hard time trusting someone dressed like this. Well, I have a hard time trusting people who wear those hats with a beer can on each side. So, listen. I know it's corny, but the outfit means something to me. And yeah, even though my wearing the mask might have idiots like that trying to use me to get attention for themselves. And people like that low J. Jonah Jameson at the Bugle trying to use me to sell papers by trashing the crap out of me and all the time. I just don't care. Why don't you care? Because a guy a lot smarter than any of us once told me that with power comes a great deal of responsibility. And that's not just for people with powers like me. I think it goes for everybody. So I'm just going to live my life that way, and everything else is noise. Alright, listen, the cops are coming, so I'm out of here. Is everyone okay? Alright, see ya. You are so fat that when you cut yourself shaving, marshmallow fluff comes out. No? Okay, how about this one? You are so fat that your high school yearbook photo was taken from a helicopter. Ooh, Tough for him. Okay, how about you're so fat that when you get on a scale it says 1 at a time.
You son of a...
Wait. How about this one? Your belly button makes an echo. If you were a truck, you would have a wide load sign. When you back up, we can hear a beeping sound. So, let's figure out what we're going to do here. I have to kill you now. You know who I am. I have to kill you. You don't. Kid, I told you to go home. I don't ever do what you tell me to. Why start now? Kid! I can't let you do this, man. This is it. Can't you see that? This is it. I know this feeling. You've got nothing to lose. You think you have nothing to lose. But I'm telling you, everything you've done till now, it doesn't matter. This is what you find out if you really are who you think you are. And hey, let me tell you, you're mean and you are crazy. But you're not this guy. He's going to kill my friends and family. And you're not him. And that is a sick, helpless woman. A sick, helpless woman who married him? So how much of an angel do you think she really is? A guy killed my uncle. A guy killed him right in my own home. And I went after him. I went to kill him. And I could have. I had him. And no one would ever known, just me. But I didn't. I didn't do it. And for all the stupid stuff I've done and said, I know who I am because at that moment, right then, I did the right thing. I'm a big fan of yours. You know that. And I hate this fat tub of fatty with every fiber of my being. And I'm telling you, if you do this, it's over. You can't take it back. I cannot praise and recommend this comic series enough. Brian Michael Bendis' Ultimate Spider-Man is truly ultimate. Now, before I talk about my number one pick, here are some other great Spider-Man writers and runs that almost made the cut. Chip Zdarsky's Spider-Man Life Story is an amazing comic run where it's the important highlights and story arcs of Spider-Man's life, but being told in reality. So, basically, as these comic series were being written and set in the 60s, 70s, 80s, Peter in this story actually ages through this story, and by the time the 2010s roll around, Peter is already in his 60s. It's a fantastic read and a true love letter to Spider-Man and his fans for all these years. Dan Slott's Superior Spider-Man run. Now, when this came out, this run was hated by fans.
What were they thinking, putting Dr. Octopus's mind in Spider-Man's body?
To which I can understand, but I really do respect the balls and decisions Slott did to the Spider-Man character. So if you don't know about this run, Dr. Octopus, who is dying, transfers his mind into Peter's, basically killing the real Peter in the process. But, feeling regret, Otto makes a vow to Peter that he will carry on his legacy as the Superior Spider-Man, where his overconfidence takes over as he becomes a more violent, honestly sociopathic, yet very intelligent Spider-Man. And I'm gonna say it. This series is really good until it isn't. See, I really love this run, but honestly it became too repetitive. Like, yeah, Otto is saying fuck you to everything Peter has and his relationships. And he keeps boasting himself as being better as Peter in every way. But when it comes to the point where he's legitimately been Spider-Man for over a year, and he still acts the same. He still treats everyone like shit, with the exception of Anna Marie. And the shtick just gets old for me. I did, however, love how Otto basically ruins New York by everyone hating Spider-Man again. The Green Goblin is back with his Goblin army, and he's winning the war. Spider-Man's HQ is destroyed, and he finally admits to himself and to Peter's subconscious that Peter Parker truly is the better and superior Spider-Man, as he lets himself die so Peter can reclaim his body and name and to save the day.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
It was really powerful and great, but getting to this point felt too long in my opinion. It kind of felt like the Death Note series, you know, how the whole Light Yagami and L rivalry and cat and mouse chase was great, but then when L dies, it's not the same, and it kind of felt dragged. This is basically how it was for Spider-Man, and how I feel about it. But honestly, it's still a very fun read, with a very different concept, and I'm gonna say it, both the superior Spider-Man designs are peak Spider-Man suit designs. I really love how the red and black complement each other, but the darker shades show that this is not Peter Parker. What's wrong? In Miramore, during the War of the Realms, 34 people were killed. In Redwood City, 21, and that is merely the immediate area. Thousands dead in the United States alone. And these ignorant sheep want to give me giant keys? It is foolish, is all. And Otto Octavius has no time for fools. Oh. Hey, now I get it. Look, Otto. Spare me your cliches about power and responsibility, and the inevitable caveats that allow you to rationalize your failures. I am well aware that you cannot save everyone. But I am Otto Octavius, one of the finest minds on Earth! I should have thought of something. Okay, no more advice from me. I will grant you, I'm not a therapist. I'm barely a motivational poster of a cat. And you're older than me. You have more life experience. But I have been doing this longer. I mean, from the good guy side of things. And there's one thing I can tell you for sure. The way you feel right now means you're doing it right. So give yourself a break, Otto. You might just have a future at this. And the final honorable mention, Yusuke Osawa's Spider-Man Fake Red, a manga run where the real Spider-Man is missing. As you, a high school kid who's a big fan of Spidey, finds the suit abandoned, he dons the suit and tries to be Spider-Man, while also waiting for Spider-Man to return and look for him. What I really like about this manga run is that it's different. My boy Yu is literally just a fanboy who has no riz. He's a nerd who's not good at anything physically, but he's still trying to be Spider-Man. It's so fresh and unique as you really grow to like and care about Yu, his life, and the people in his life. Now, I don't want to talk more about the story because it's a very short manga run that was unfortunately canceled because of sales, which, damn, I would have loved to see and read more from this series. So trust me, Fake Red is really good and a fresh take on the character. You will definitely have a lot of fun from this book. Trust. Now, on to number 1. J. Michael Straczynski's Amazing Spider-Man. Yes, I know, this is a lot of people's favorite Spider-Man comic run, and it's been praised to the heavens itself. And I'm gonna be real with y'all. At first I was like, okay, what's the hype? So, I got myself the huge omnibus, and I was fucking obsessed. And now, I have to agree. Straczynski's Spider-Man run is the best comic run my mind and eyes have ever read. See, before reading this run, I thought to myself, yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man is peak Spider-Man. but I doubt there is a comic writer or series that surpasses Ultimate. Until I read this. This run is what I've always wanted from Spider-Man. New and interesting ideas that work and make sense. Tonal and quality consistency. Amazing portrayals of characters and relationships. Emotional drama that really hits. And above all, it's inspirational. Like, full disclosure, before reading this, Gwen Stacy was my favorite Spider-Man love interest. Mostly because of Emma Stone's portrayal in the Amazing Spider-Man duology films, and her character in the Spectacular Spider-Man show. But now, Mary Jane Watson has my heart. She is so good in this comic run that, in my opinion, every other portrayal of her does not even come close to this one. She genuinely loves Peter from her whole being. And for the first half of the run, it's actually really sad how they really try to make their relationship work, but they just can't. There's this really sad moment where Peter was supposed to pick her up from the airport and spend time with her, as she was only going to be in New York for one night, and because they've been estranged for 2 years. But he was stuck in this magic dimension. And he watched his MJ wait for him for hours until she had to fly back to California as Peter begs MJ to hear him, but she can't. Only by pure chance and luck did they end up at the same airport, do they finally see each other and talk. And of course, since Spider-Man's life is insane, the airport is under attack, so Peter has to save the day. And after that whole shenanigans, he finally professes to MJ how much she means to him, as they both cry and she tells him how much she loves him. And it's so fucking crazy and beautiful that they get together again. And it's like, fucking finally, holy shit, my emotions and broken heart can't take this shit, man. But Peter Parker in this run is the best version of this character. The idea of having Peter being a science teacher at a high school is so genius, because not only does Spider-Man save random civilians, but he also helps his own students and saves them as well. Till this day, and probably forever, the most important Spider-Man comic issue, and my personal favorite, is now Amazing Spider-Man issue 500, where Peter is lost in time as he is forced to fight every villain he has faced, and go through the darkest and hardest moments of his life, as he's injured, exhausted, beaten, but he still pushes on, even though he wants to give up. He continues to rise and fight, until he saves the day and the Avengers from Dormammu. And during that same day, Peter forgets that it's his birthday. So basically, Doctor Strange visits him after the battle, and he gives him a thank you present for saving the day. And the present is Peter being allowed to talk to Uncle Ben for 5 minutes. What really hits me the most is when Uncle Ben, out of everything, asks Peter if he is happy with his life. To which Peter says this: "But the thing is, I've done things, Ben. I've got abilities now. I can do amazing things. There's stuff you need to know. And there you're right. There's one question I have to ask you, Peter. An important question, so I could sleep easy. Anything, Uncle Ben. Anything. Whatever it is you do now, whatever it is you've become, tell me this, Peter. Are you happy? We all go through pain. We all lose people we care about. We all suffer. We all get hurt. It's the price of being human. But at the end of the day, do you like your life? Are you happy, Peter?" It's the damnedest thing, but I am. I'm happy. I have a good life, Ben. A real good life. I'm very lucky. Sometimes I don't realize just how good and How lucky. But yeah, I'm happy, Ben. Then that's the only thing that matters, isn't it? Maybe so. Maybe that is the right question. But I still miss you, Ben. God knows I've missed you so much. I've missed you too, Peter. I love you, you know. I love you too, Ben. Goodbye, Pete. Take care of May for me. I will. I swear. I always have and I always will. I know. As they both hug and say goodbye, Peter goes back inside, happy and grateful for his life, as he embraces Mary Jane. This issue and the issue cover is the core of Spider-Man. With all of his villains, demons, conflicts taking over and trying to kill Spider-Man. He goes on with MJ being there for him, as she and the people in Peter's life are Spider-Man's strength and willpower. When Aunt May finds out about Peter's secret life as Spider-Man, we have this amazing conversation of them talking, and it's just so relieving that Aunt May knows and she's proud of the man Peter grew up to be. With the hilarious joke that Aunt May thought Peter was gay this whole time. They even have this issue of Aunt May just walking around New York trying to find ways to help Spider-Man, and it's so cute and beautiful. And I haven't even talked about the Moreland arc, or about the character of Ezekiel Sims, or more about Peter's students, which I'm not going to, because again, me simply talking about them does not do the characters and story arcs justice. And of course, if you didn't know, Straczynski has an issue dedicated to 9/11, as when this comic run was going, 9/11 happened. And no lie, it's the most powerful comic issue I have ever read. J. Michael Straczynski truly is the best Spider-Man writer of all time. Hello, God. This is Peter Parker. Can I ask you a favor? I know I've been your personal cat toy for the last few years, but can we not do that for me again for a while? Not real long. I know the odds on that are about 0, but just for a little while. Say 50 or 60 years? I mean, that's not long in your terms, right? Just kidding, God. Just kidding. But I'll bet you knew that, didn't you? I can hear the screams starting again, even as I hang up the phone. And I know it's him, drawing me out again. And I think, am I that predictable? I'm tired. I've been fighting this guy for nearly 12 hours straight. I haven't had anything to eat or drink. And he's not even tired. But I am. I'm hurt and I'm tired and I want to go home and I want to sleep and I don't want to be here. And I think, can I let this one go? Can I let it be someone else's problem just for a minute so I can rest? No, I can't. But I wish I could, God. But I wish I could. I can bench press a car. I can climb up the side of a wall, fight 20 guys to a standstill, swing across chasms 30 stories deep, feel a bullet coming my way, and move fast enough to get clear. But something in her makes me gentle, makes me shy, makes me strong, makes me happy to be alive. And maybe that's it. Maybe that's what it really comes down to. She makes me whole. She completes me. So here's the thing, God. I know I complain a lot, and I know that you and me, we've got issues, but right now, just for tonight, thank you for her. Thank you. If Ultimate Spider-Man reinvented Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man reignited Spider-Man. So there you have it. The top 4 best of Spider-Man. If you have a favorite comic writer, run, or anything, or if you have read any of these arcs, definitely feel free to add them in the comments. I love to read about them. Or Spider-Man in general. Alexi, listen to me. You're wrong. I've lost people too, but that pain, that hurt, that means they are still there. You can carry them with you in everything you do. And with the person you are, they're a part of you forever. That means you honor them, Alexi, by being the person they would want you to be. But how? How do I go on? Same way you always have, like a rhino. You put your head down and move forward. Just keep moving forward. And if you can, maybe I can too. I'm sorry. The way I've been acting with you, not giving you the benefit of doubt. I killed someone once. An accident. Wolverine was involved. Berlin. I was in over my head and threw a wild punch, and it was horrible. I didn't know what to do. I wanted to come home. I've never told anyone this besides. I was mad at myself for not turning myself in, for going on like nothing had happened. I saw you, and I just saw myself, and got so mad. Why are you wearing pants? Okay, here goes. Around Christmas, Doc Ock and I mind swapped, and the me that's been running around was really him in my body. Now I'm back. By my last fight, all my clothes got zapped off, so I webbed myself up some underwear. But I didn't know that Doc changed my web formula so it lasts longer. And now my pants are stuck to my butt, and it's been over an hour, and I really have to pee. So we good? I want a full medical scan. On it. I really wanted to talk and share how much this character and these comic runs have meant to me, and how it gave me an eternal love and gratitude, and how it strengthened that love because of these writers. So, to all these writers I have listed and mentioned above, thank you. To Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, who have created this amazing character who motivates and inspires me to be the man I am today. Thank you. And a big thank you to all of you who have made it this far in this video. I commend you, my fellow web-slinging homie G's. I'm sorry, but do I think of Spider-Man? I feel like I have a conflict of interest. I actually used to take pictures of him for a newspaper. He kind of helped me pay my rent for years. Got to eventually repay him by hiring him to be my bodyguard, but still. I think Spider-Man he's a good guy, mostly. He tries to do the right thing, and, hopefully people see that. But he's human. He makes mistakes. He can't save everyone. So when I think of Spider-Man, I guess I think of the weight of that he keeps going, despite the failures, hoping ultimately that he's helping people. He's been doing this for a long time, but still, when I think of Spider-Man, I think no matter what, he's never going to stop trying. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for tolerating my voice acting. I can finally play the Silent Hill 2 remake. Bye bye!